YWAM, and it stands for Youth with a Mission. So it's basically that people who are young, like kind of are, I think 18 or above, they basically get trained to go on a mission field to an outreach. And the program I'm doing in YWAM is called DTS. So it stands for Discipleship Training School. So it's going to be a 3-month lecture phase, which is like discipleship, training for the outreach, and you kind of just focus on growing your relationship with God before going on the outreach. Then the next 2.5 months is going to a nation. So I don't really know which nation I'm going to yet. I'll figure it out the second week of the school. So it could be anywhere. It could be like South Africa, Philippines, Brazil, those kinds of places. So, sorry. How did you do that?
Wait, he like
The door closed by itself. Air pressure. Somebody is there? Air pressure. Yeah, air pressure. Anyway, I want to share my church background and how I, just my kind of like my backstory of being in the church. I came here when I was about 4 years old, I think. Went to this exact church. It looked a lot different than what it looks like now. But yeah, went to this church, and then I grew up going to all church camps. I was super involved. The first time I did ministry was maybe 9 years old for a ministry called Children's Lane. So I did children's ministry growing up. And then I joined worship team when I was 15, 16, 14. Never mind. I think 15. 15 is when I joined worship.
One of those ages.
Yeah, one of those. I don't, like, you know how pastors remember dates and like years? I don't remember any of those. I just know I did worship at that time. And how I was called to missions. Growing up, I was surrounded, especially in an international church, you're constantly surrounded by people who come and go. And my time growing up, I was always around missionaries. I think a lot of them were actually from YWAM, or that time they were just quite a bit. They're all like young people, maybe my age or a bit older. And so, growing up, I don't know, I just never could picture myself doing something else than missions. And every year at camps, people would always say, I would always feel called to it, and then people would confirm that like every year. Something new would come up. And yeah, it was cool. I liked it a lot. I really enjoyed just being called to this. And because it,
Real quick, I promised Ivy we'd record this, and that's how Jayde will be picked up by that.
Okay.
sorry.
So I had to pray about why I wanted to do missions, because I realized I've always said, oh, I'm called, but it's important to dig deeper into that. So I prayed, and I was like, okay, God, can you help me dig deeper into my feelings and kind of see why I feel called to share God's love to different nations. And then it hit me, and I was like, oh, wow. Some of you guys know that my dad left when I was 13 years old. And funny thing is, he like lives right down there, maybe 5 minutes away. But I haven't seen him in over a year and a half maybe. And I realized growing up that being without a father actually does take a big toll on your life, even if I never admitted it. And I was always like, no, I'm fine. I'm good, Gucci. But then I realized this year and last year is when I realized it actually has been affecting me in a lot of different ways. And I realized that I have it's a big part of your life that's missing that should have been there. So I feel like that's the reason how I became so much more closer to God is because God was the only thing that was able to replace that hole in my heart and that missing piece. And I'm not saying it's immediately that those feelings are gone, you know. It's still affecting me. And it even affects my relationship with God because I find it hard to accept that love a lot because I don't really know what it is, if that makes sense. It's so foreign to me. So realizing how a lot of people in this world try to replace those missing things in their heart with a lot of substances. It breaks my heart that they don't know that only God is able to replace that with His love. And that's why I found it was so important for me to want to share His love to people, because only He's able to heal that brokenness, I guess. So yeah, that's why I feel like it's so important for me to do this. And whether it's full-time missions or even just this little piece of like 6 months of me doing it, I'm still grateful that I get to have this opportunity and privilege to actually share His love to people. And as I was preparing this, I felt like God wanted me to share some stuff with you guys too, to maybe help you guys maybe be inspired. So Psalms 51:17. Let me pull it up real quick. Hold on.
It's on screen too.
Oh, okay.
Can you read it?
Yeah. The sacrifice you desire is a broken spirit. You will not reject a broken and repentant heart, O God. So, this verse really hits close to home because, as you guys know, I'm not perfect. I'm not close to perfect. I mess up a lot. I'm figuring stuff out, you know?
Amen.
And that actually really bothered me for a long, well, it still does. When I found I was going to YWAM, I was like, oh no, this is a time where I actually have to to shape up. So I kind of was listing everything that was wrong, like with me. I was like, I don't want to say what I struggle with right now, but I was struggling with a lot of things, and I'm like, God, I'm not prepared to do this. Like, I don't understand how you're calling me to go to something like this, and I need your help right now to fix me before I'm able to go. But then I realized that's a really unhealthy mindset. When I was thinking that, this verse came up. And so I think you guys might have heard that saying, God doesn't call the equipped, He equips the called, which really applies to me. And I just realized how even when we're not perfect, God is still willing to use us. But what's more important is that we must be willing to have a willing heart. And I want to encourage you guys to just remember that no matter what place you're at, it really doesn't matter. God doesn't really care. He's like the type of God who teaches you along the way. But that's okay, you know? And I'm going into this still learning plenty. I'm going to be a newly graduated high school student. I just turned 18. Still have a whole life ahead of me and a lot of things to figure out. But I don't know, because it really put peace in my heart going into this, I really hope you guys remember that it doesn't really matter where you're at. And even when you mess up, you make mistakes, what He really just wants is a willing heart, and He wants you to have an open heart for Him to use you in different ways. The second thing I feel like God wanted me to remind you guys is the importance of surrendering your life to Him. So beginning of the year, I prayed to God for a theme for my year, or a word, and the word was pursue. He gave me a line, pursue His heart and the rest will follow. It kind of goes with the verse Jeremiah 29:13. If you look for me wholeheartedly, you will find me. And I feel like, especially when we're in this age, when we're trying to figure out life and we're trying to see what the next step is, it's a really simple concept. I always found it, I like to simplify things because it takes a lot of energy to worry about everything and to be anxious about everything and overthink it. I want to remind you guys, wherever you're at, as long as you're pursuing His heart, everything else will follow. And if that's something I would like you guys to take from today, is the importance of that. And I found that's something that I've done growing up. Just remembering that, just surrendering your life to God and remembering that what He wants for your life, like the preacher said today, is so much better than what you can even come up with. And it's just important that when you're worrying about these things, peace comes after surrendering. I think that's really important for us to remember, especially as we're all, like Josh was trying to figure out which college to go and all that. Charlotte's figuring out what to do for life. In general. Yeah. So, hold on. Yeah, that's just what because I don't know what I'm doing after the 6 months. Either.
You're so good at this.
Yeah, that. Remember that. That's a really good thing to remember. Because I struggle with that too. I struggle with worrying sometimes, but it's a simple thing. Pursue His heart, everything else will follow, and then surrender, and then there comes peace. You don't have to worry anymore. And yeah, that's just where I'm at right now. And I want to thank you guys for supporting me. I know I'm really bad at showing gratefulness, and thankfulness, and love, but I do I'm working on it. I am actually really trying to work on showing feelings and emotions. And yeah, but I do love you guys, seriously.
And Jayde is like, she's cringing. Oh man, I'm sweating.
Anyway, yeah. Thank you guys. And I wish, I'm going to try my best to show as much like love and affection to you guys before I leave. But yeah, just know I'm grateful. Just know I'm really thankful for your support. And I really do see you guys as my family.